In this video, you'll discover why mainstream archaeology is desperately trying to hide the most explosive evidence in human history. What if I told you that every major ancient civilization on Earth has the exact same story about visitors from the sky? What if the proof has been hiding in plain sight for thousands of years? Stick with me throughout this video and you'll see exactly why the ancient astronaut theory isn't just possible, it's inevitable. For decades, we've been fed the same tired story, that our ancestors were primitive cave dwellers who somehow, against all odds, built impossible structures with nothing but copper tools and rope. But here's what they don't tell you. The Maya had advanced astronomy, trigonometry, and architecture, while Europeans were rolling around in the mud. The ancient Indians wrote detailed technical manuals about flying machines made of metal, and every single culture on Earth tells the same story about gods descending from the sky. If this sounds familiar, if you've always felt like something was missing from the official story, you're going to want to see what I reveal shortly. Here's the truth they don't want you to know. The ancient astronaut theory isn't science fiction, it's science fact. Let me start with the most compelling evidence. The Sumerian tablets discovered in 1849 at Nineveh, Iraq. These 6,000-year-old cuneiform inscriptions tell the story of the Anunnaki, beings who, from heaven to earth, they came. According to researcher Zecharia Sitchin's translations, these weren't mythological gods. They were extraterrestrials from a planet called Nibiru who landed on Earth over 450,000 years ago. But why did they come? The tablets reveal they came to mine gold. Their home planet's atmosphere was failing, and gold particles could repair the atmospheric holes. When the physical labor became too demanding, they made a revolutionary decision. They decided to fashion a worker being, a slave to mine the gold for them. The Sumerian creation texts describe this as an arduous process of genetic engineering. They took genes from female hominids and, after many trials, blended genes together to create the perfect being. Sound familiar? The Bible echoes this story but calls the creators God instead of the Anunnaki. But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just about one culture or one location. This is a global phenomenon. The Sumerians aren't the only culture describing genetic manipulation by sky beings. The Quran says language was given to us by Allah. The Maya Popol Vuh says language was given by the gods. Ancient Egyptian texts say the exact same thing. It doesn't matter what ancient culture we look at, they all say the same, that language was a gift from the gods. In India, the Mahabharata, their equivalent of the Bible, is packed with stories of gods who flew around in marvelous golden skyships called Vimanas. These weren't mythical creatures. They were machines made out of metal, with cloaking technology and advanced weaponry. In Greece, we find the dragon houses of Mount Ochi, where Zeus allegedly descended from the heavens. These megalithic structures contain 10-ton blocks at 5,000 feet elevation, an impossible feat for primitive people. Now let me show you something that will change everything you think you know about ancient history. At Chichen Itza, Mexico, every year on March 21st and September 21st, you can witness something extraordinary. As the sun rises, triangles of light and shadow climb down the stairway of El Castillo Pyramid. This isn't coincidence, it's a deliberate message. As Eric von Daniken observed, the message is absolutely clear. God Kukulkan visited the earth and disappeared again with the promise to return in a faraway future. But the real smoking gun is Lord Pacal's sarcophagus lid from Palenque, Mexico. Look closely at the carved image. You see a man bending forward, almost like a racing motorcyclist. He has his nose on some kind of oxygen mask. He uses his upper hand to manipulate knobs. His lower hand manipulates controls. He's sitting in a kind of chair in a capsule. When von Daniken first saw this in the 1960s, he saw exactly what you're seeing now, a Mayan king in a rocket ship returning to the stars. The knowledge gap is impossible to explain through conventional archaeology. How did the Maya track the 26,000-year precession cycle with naked-eye astronomy? How did they know about the galactic center, a black hole they called the birth canal of the universe? The Maya believed that on December 21st, 2012, the Earth, the Sun, and this birth canal, the dark rift, are all in perfect alignment, and this only happens every 26,000 years. Modern astronomy has confirmed this alignment exists. According to the Maya themselves, this knowledge was not something that they came up with, but it was given to them as a gift from the gods. The gift back then was not material stuff, it was knowledge. Knowledge is the currency of the universe. Now let's examine Teotihuacan, the Rome of Mesoamerica. This massive complex predates the Maya by 100 years and housed 125,000 people. But here's the mystery. We have such a sophisticated site that embodies engineering principles, craftsmanship, art. Where did it originate? We don't find any smaller versions, so we don't have evolution to show where this came from. Let me tell you about one of the most compelling pieces of evidence, the Dogon tribe of Mali, Africa. The Dogon possess ancient knowledge about the Sirius star system that should be impossible. They knew about Sirius B, a white dwarf star invisible to the naked eye, centuries before modern telescopes could detect it. The Dogon call Sirius B Po-Tolo and describe it as extremely dense and orbiting Sirius A every 50 years. Modern astronomy confirms this is exactly correct. Sirius B weighs 8 times as much as our Sun despite being smaller than Earth. How did they know this? According to Dogon mythology, their god Amma came from Sirius and gave them this knowledge, the same place where ancient Egyptians believed their god Osiris was born. The mystery is, how did this story get passed on down generations? If the story came from a time before astronomers knew there was a companion star to Sirius which can't be seen with the human eye. In 2003, archaeologists made a startling discovery at Teotihuacan. 45 feet beneath the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, they found a previously unknown tunnel leading to a chamber filled with hundreds of golden metallic orbs. The orbs are very interesting objects. I've never seen anything like them in any other archaeological context. On the inside, they are clay. On the outside, they're coated with gold flecks, so they look like golden balls. The chamber walls were also covered in gold flecks, creating a shimmering cosmos when illuminated. These beautiful orbs strongly suggest someone was illustrating planets. But the discoveries don't stop there. In February 2018 through March 2019, archaeologists made incredible discoveries just in Mexico alone. Mayan artifacts in Teotihuacan, 200 more artifacts in hidden caves under Chichen Itza, an ancient city the size of Manhattan discovered under dense jungle. The earliest human artistic expressions, petroglyphs dating 10,000, 12,000 years ago, tell the same story worldwide. At Valcamonica, Italy, we find the famous spaceman petroglyphs showing helmeted figures alongside mysterious objects called communion roses, 9 dotted symbols that look remarkably like spacecraft. The Hopi Indians of the American Southwest carved petroglyphs showing people with radiating wreaths, gods that descend from the sky. The Hopi say these beings are kachinas from space who came to Earth in aircraft, who are not gods, but who brought them knowledge from another planet. The Zuni people of New Mexico have similar petroglyphs depicting dome-headed figures with what appear to be breathing apparatus. As tribal elder Clifford Mahudi explains, in the Zuni way, we've always been taught that they're the keepers of the upper world, which means space, sky people, beings that are of extraterrestrial origin. Every culture, same story, cosmic eggs descending from the sky, gods emerging, knowledge transferred, then departure with promises to return. Ancient texts from cultures around the world speak of mysterious beings cruising the skies in chariots of fire and bringing humanity wisdom from the cosmos. The Aztecs describe a giant flint knife landing on Earth, with 1,600 gods disgorging from this thing, responsible for launching Aztec civilization. In the Lascaux caves of France, 17,000-year-old paintings show therianthropes, beings with human bodies and bird heads, identical to depictions of Egyptian god Thoth and Sumerian Anunnaki. Which explanation makes more sense? Impossible coincidence across isolated cultures or extraterrestrial contact? Right now, satellite technology is revealing thousands of yet undiscovered sites that will finally see the light of day. LiDAR scanning is penetrating jungle canopies and desert sands, uncovering evidence hidden for millennia. If you have a puzzle with 1,000 pieces, you don't need to lay down all 1,000 pieces. If you lay down 980 pieces, you will see the big picture. We're at 980 pieces right now. The Maya said their gods would return. The Aztecs carved the same promise into stone. The Indians wrote about it in their most sacred texts. What if they weren't talking about mythology? What if they were talking about a scheduled return? You've seen the evidence. The light and shadow serpent descending pyramid steps. Lord Pacal in his cosmic capsule. The golden orbs representing planets, the universal stories of sky gods across every culture. The ancient astronaut theory isn't asking you to believe in aliens. It's asking you to believe the evidence your ancestors left behind. The truth has been waiting thousands of years. The question is, are you ready for it? If you want to dive deeper into this evidence, check the links in the description. And if you're ready to see more suppressed truths like this, subscribe. I reveal new evidence every week.